The bulldozer sat rumbling out front, looking way too comfortable next to the pile of twisted lumber and shattered memories that used to be a split-level ranch. I remember seeing the leg of a rocking chair jutting out of the rubble, something so simple, now totally destroyed. People from the neighborhood were standing in clusters, murmuring, a few holding up their phones to catch the chaos. It all felt so surreal, like the world had gone off its axis. And right there in the middle, my 83-year-old mother, Alma grocery bag in one hand, oatmeal inside. Disbelief written all over her face just kept repeating. All I did was go buy oatmeal. That's it. I just want to buy oatmeal. Across the street, you had Karen Blelick, HOA president for Mara Gold Estates, standing like a general surveying the aftermath, her clipboard in one hand, giant iced coffee in the other, nodding like she was pleased with her own version of D-Day. Her nails were those perfect, fake pink things, clicking against her list as she started checking boxes. That was yesterday. Today, she's across from me in court. And for once, she's not the one making the rules or running the show. My name's Mitchell Dorsey. I'm not the type to stir up trouble. I am a software engineer. Mostly just keep my head down, work from home, mind my own business. I'm not out there winning lawn awards or fighting with folks over hedge height. When my mom needed help after her hip replacement, it wasn't a question. I moved her in with me. She couldn't handle the stairs in her old house anymore. It was supposed to be a quiet season for both of us. One day, she needed to pick up some of her old stuff, so I let her park her old Toyota Camry in my driveway. That's literally all. It was just my mom, in her own car, parked at my place. Didn't even cross my mind that this tiny act would set off World War III with the self-declared queen of the HOA. Karen Blelick, if you don't know the type. Count your blessings. She's the woman who'll show up on your lawn at 7 a.m. with a ruler, measuring your grass, ready to write a citation for every blade that dares grow an inch too high. She called the sidewalks the arteries of civilization and gave $300 fines to anyone whose garden gnome pointed the wrong direction. The moment she spotted my mom's Camry, she was in full attack mode, calling it a visual blight and ranting about property values. First came the letters, stack after stack of thick envelopes, stuffed with highlighted HOA bylaws. Every other sentence about infractions, repeat violations, property devaluation, all the fancy words she could muster. The threats kept getting nastier, the fines piling up for unauthorized vehicle and driveway. It got weird fast. She started snapping pictures at 3 in the morning. Camera flash waking up my mom, who already struggled to sleep because of her hip. Then she called animal control over a plastic flamingo, swearing it was harboring feral cats. She even confronted my mom directly, screaming about retirement community aesthetics and accusing us of turning the neighborhood into a used car lot. My mom just told her, as kindly as she could, she'd move the car when she could walk without pain. But Karen only doubled down. Suddenly, we were finding notes under the wipers, passive-aggressive reminders about the rules. She held a neighborhood watch meeting with a full PowerPoint presentation, 27 photos of my mom's car. Every possible angle, every time of day. And then the day came when everything blew up. I was working from home, headphones on, buried in code. My mom ran out for groceries, oatmeal for breakfast. She came back less than an hour later to find her home, her whole life reduced to a pile of smashed beams and insulation. The bulldozer was still sitting in the wreckage. She stood there, shaking, looking at what was left of her rose bushes, her old books, her keepsakes flattened and lost. A note taped to what was left of a lawn gnome said, in Karen's sharp handwriting, structure removed due to repeated code violations. Mara Gold Estates, HOA Compliance Division. What Karen didn't know is that she just broke in a whole new level of law. First, me mom's old house. It was technically outside HOA jurisdiction by about 15 feet. Second, the bulldozer company was hired using forged documents, me signature faked. Hers forged too. And third, the police don't mess around when it comes to bulldozers tearing down occupied homes without permits. 2 hours later, my mom was safe in a hotel, and I was cataloging debris for the insurance. Phone in one hand, lawyer on speed dial, filing an emergency injunction. By sundown, Karen was in the back of a squad car, screeching about her constitutional rights and how the neighborhood needed her. The arresting officer's Zero patients just told her that bulldozing someone's house was illegal everywhere. The court date was a circus. Neighbors packed the benches, popcorn in hand, all of them quietly thrilled to see Karen finally face the music. She didn't look so tough in that courtroom. Pearls Askew, face pale. Her lawyer, some kid who looked like he'd just taken his bar exam, was sweating bullets. Their whole defense? We thought the house was abandoned. Your Honor, apparently the dusty Camry was evidence of neglect. The judge looked ready to explode. He read through emails I'd printed proving Karen used HOA money without any board approval to pay off the demolition guys. Faked authority, lied to the city inspector, claimed she had power of attorney. The kicker? Security footage from the HOA office of Karen trying to shred the HOA's original rulebook and property boundary maps after her arrest only to be stopped by her own VP, who'd finally had enough. By noon, the judge ruled in our favor. Full damages for my mom's house, every single belonging, and $750, 000 in punitive damages for criminal misconduct. The room erupted. Judge even ordered Karen to resign immediately and recommended criminal charges for fraud, destruction of property, and forgery. She went from red to purple to ghostly white right before everyone's eyes. A week later, Mara Gold Estates had a mandatory vote to remove Karen from anything H-related showed up in sunglasses and a neck brace, ranting about emotional vertigo and persecution, then launched into a 20-minute speech about how she'd sacrificed everything for neighborhood beauty. When the votes came in, 0. Not even her friends sided with her. The board's new rule was clear: every decision would now need a vote from at least 5 people. No more lone wolves. No more power trips. And the final twist: Karen had to present my mom a $1, $3 million settlement check on live TV. News cameras rolling. My mom wore a t-shirt that said, "Parking is not a crime." Karen's hands shook so badly the check looked like a flag in a storm. Her apology came out in a choked whisper. The local news ran the story for 3 days. HOA president's power trip cost community over $1 million. Karen's reputation was ruined for good. 2 months later, she faced a criminal trial: fraud, forgery, destruction of property. Her lawyer tried to say she was just stressed, but nobody bought it. Jury took less than 2 hours to find her guilty. Judge gave her 3 years in minimum security, plus $200, 000 in restitution. Karen fainted when she heard the verdict. Had to be wheeled out of the courtroom. That's how my mom and I survived the worst HOA meltdown Mara Gold Estates ever saw. And if you ever wonder if the little guy can win well, sometimes karma drives a bulldozer